Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hugs and Kisses podcast. My name is Salamata and I am your host. Today we have a very special guest. I am here with Amber Ramos.
Hi guys.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes.
Tell us about your major, your involvement on campus, and everything you get into.
My name is Amber Ramos. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I am currently the public relations for the Black Student Union. I am the model coordinator for the Student Fashion Society, and I'm a fashion design major. Concentration in design.
Period.
Yeah.
You really get into it.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about self-love, and I know that's a topic we discuss a lot personally, but can you share with everyone what self-love means to you?
I think self-love means unconditional love for self. I feel like a lot of people put conditions, like, oh, if I work out, then I love myself, or if I get this A, then I love myself. But I think pure, authentic self-love comes when there is no conditions tied to that. Like, you love yourself regardless.
Yeah, I really like that definition because it makes sure that, like, no matter the circumstances, that you can, like, be there for yourself and actually, like, take care of yourself and love yourself. I'm really interested to hear about, like, your journey into self-love. Like, how did you discover that? Like, how did you come up with such a, like, dope definition? Like, that's a bar. I'm taking that.
Thank you. Tell the whole world. Definitely through my life experience. I mean, I was never this confident. I never really truly authentically loved myself. And I still have moments, you know, I'm human, where I'm like, ugh, like the love is conditional. But through, like, really looking within and through doing a lot of, like, how can I say, reading. I love to read. Actually, there's this book, Don Miguel Ruiz, that is the artist. He talks about, like, self-love and rules to live by, so you have personal freedom within this world. So it was a lot of, like, self-discovery and a lot of, like, research and, like, you know, books, because who wants to be miserable their whole life, you know?
Right.
Like, how can I break these conditions?
Right, like, how can you love yourself better? Because ultimately, like, self-love is really important to, like, how you take care of other people in your life.
Exactly.
Me and my friends were talking a lot about, like, you can show up better as a friend if you're, like, showing up for yourself.
Exactly.
And a lot of that comes through self-love. I'm really glad you mentioned reading, because a lot of the way, like, I came through understanding self-love a little bit was, like, reading All About Love by Bell Hook and realizing that, like, a lot of the way, like, we are taught love is, like, very conditional in society, whether it be with your parents or in school or, like, any of these spaces where you feel like you have to accomplish something to love and take care of yourself. So I'm glad you really brought that up.
Yeah, of course. I definitely.
What has helped you, and what would you recommend to others who are struggling on their self-love journey?
That it's okay. You know, I think the first thing to this journey is acknowledging your thought patterns, so deep to the point where you kind of try to grab your subconscious thought patterns. You know, that was one of the things that I had to do. Like, for example, like, I'm plus size, everyone knows. So there's some times where I'd subconsciously put on a sweater to hide my rolls, or, like, put on a different shirt to hide my rolls. But once I, like, got so conscious to the point where I'm like, hold on, like, you're doing this because of that. I was like, okay, like, let's wear that shirt.
Right.
Let's wear those pants, okay, that highlight everything, you know? So just being self-aware, I think, has helped me, and that's my recommendations to others on their self-love journey.
That's a really good point, and I think, like, for me, like, when I was coming into my self-love journey, there was this whole conversation about, like, body positivity and, like, having to, like, be massively in love with your body, and, like, sometimes, like, I didn't like the way I looked, and, like, that was something that I had to, like, be honest with myself about, and then, like, working through that and realizing it was just, like, anti-blackness or, like, internalized white supremacy and all that going on. It was like, oh, I can't leave the house without having my edges done, but, like, now I do it all the time. I mean, today we gotta slick back and some late edges,
but you know, you don't have to have the slip back or late edges to be beautiful. You don't. And I think, like, these beauty standards with, like, there's European beauty standards that's highlighted, that everyone wants to be skinny, everyone wants to be light-skinned, everyone wants to be this figure and all that. That gets drilled into your head so deep, like, so deep. So you have to be self-aware and acknowledge these things.
Especially, like, where they're coming from in order to, like, try and dismantle them.
Exactly.
You talk about, like, being plus size. Like, how did you work through, like, working on your body image and, like, loving yourself? Like, is there anybody you look up to, like, in the media per se, or, like, in your own life that, like, help you embrace the way you look and, like, who you actually are?
Definitely. There's a few supermodels out there. Paloma, she is one of
she's so stunning.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
She's
so pretty.
Yes, she's
so
gorgeous, and she really inspires me because, like, I am an inspiring model. I am a model, and like that is the field, the industry that I am gonna go into. And there's like no plus size women there. Like I wish I brought my statistics with me, but there was like over 1,000 like looks on New York Fashion Week, and like what, 49? That's the estimate, y'all.
That's crazy.
49 looks that are plus size. So I was like, what the heck? But individuals like her bio says some girls are bigger than others, you know? And people would take that in a negative connotation, but it's not negative. Like some girls are bigger than others, and that's okay. So just looking up to these idols and these people that like embrace their body fully definitely has helped me with my self-image. And being honest, like we were talking about earlier, like if I don't feel good today, like acknowledge that, but then dig deep and be like, why don't I feel good today? Like what is it? You know, so things like that. And one thing that I'm really big on is affirmations. Guys, I wake up every single day and put on my self-love affirmations, put on my mindset affirmations, because over time it rewrote what I would think when I wake up. So
that's so true, because like affirmations, like you're literally rewriting a script for yourself instead of like beating yourself up first thing in the morning, like telling yourself you're beautiful, you're smart, you're capable, like you can do really amazing things. And you are already doing really amazing things, which is like why gratitude is like such a big part of my practice.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Be grateful. I'm really glad you brought up like the fashion industry thing as a major, like as a fashion major. I see that like a lot of your designs are encompassing for plus size women because you're plus size yourself. Like I think that's really cool that you do that, and even like trying to break the mold, because like the average woman's size in this country is a 14, 16. Like nobody's a size 0. Nobody's a size 2. Like let's really be real. Let's tune in. Like that's not real at all. Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's really important.
And to add on to that, it's crazy that you bring that up too, because like, yeah, I'm in school for like fashion design, but it got to a point where I feel like I'm not really getting taught how to design for plus size women. And it shows how deep like these beauty standards run. It's like a systematic thing. You know, so I'm finding myself having to like, okay, how can I draw this line curvier so it could fit my body, you know? So like, just to say like that shows how deep things run. You know, it's a journey. You have to be willing to go on this journey.
Right, and that's why I always like emphasize like having, you know, a diverse group of people in these spaces, because it changes the way we think about it, and it changes the system, because people like you do exist, like, and that is the majority of the world. So like that's who we should also be designing for, and we should change it into like the curriculum and all that. So I really appreciate like the work that you do, and even like your honesty in the way that you show up. Like I love watching your stories. I'm not even gonna lie. I tune in every day. I tune in every day on the public and the spam, because like what you share is actually really impactful and beneficial. And like you're one of the people on campus who have been like, listen, like if you need anything, like reach out, like say something. And on my worst days, like I feel like I can look to you and like have some positivity. Like even the other day you were like, everybody wake up and like be happy, do something good for yourself. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like I'm gonna take care of myself today.
And this definitely ties into like if you practice your self journey and your self-love within that journey, it impacts your friends, because like I wasn't doing that like a year ago or 2 years ago, but because I've been so in tune with self, and I've been sitting in solitude and just doing that self-work, I have been able to make these positive messages. And it's to the point where I feel like, okay, when I think of something positive to post on social media, I feel like someone needs to hear this. Like you're not the first person that came up to me and told me like, you helped me. And that's why I'm here.
It's impactful.
Like that's exactly why I'm here, to help people. So I'm so glad you feel that way. And girl, if you need anything, y'all too. If y'all need anything, hit me up. I got you.
Yeah, she's really sweet, and like always like words of encouragement and whatnot. Like even when school is kicking my ass and I text you a little once, you'd be like, no, you got this. Like, you know, lock in. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna lock in for sure.
And it's because I really do feel like you got this, like genuinely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
A lot of people talk about like the negative aspects of social media and whatnot, but I think what you're doing is like a way that social media can be used positively for our mental health and our self-image. So I appreciate your presence. I do. I'm so serious. And like when they told me you were coming on, I was like, wait, who am I interviewing this with? They're like, Amber. I said, Amber? And they said, yeah, the fashion major. I was like, period.
Oh my gosh.
Period. We locked
really
in. We got this.
That. Oh.
And at the women's mental health panel, I feel like we had like such an honest conversation about like being a girl's girl, and I feel like you are the epitome of a girl's girl.
Oh my gosh.
We're not gonna cry.
We're gonna be crying. No, because like I am the only girl and the youngest, so I didn't understand the concept of sisterhood. And then when I got to college and I started living on my own, I was like, oh, I cannot live without this. So I really appreciate that.
Like, absolutely. And like I like your honesty in talking about like that's something you had to like come to.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn, because as women we were taught to like compete against each other.
All the time.
And I feel like especially like in the fashion space and like being models, like, you know, it's not common for models to like gas each other out loud. So like the fact that you're doing that in all of the spaces that you come into is like very
really
valuable.
Appreciate that. And I could see that impact because I just recently hosted a natural hair shoot on campus. And the first thing I said was, this is a non-judgmental space full of love. If you're doing that, out the door. And I plan on doing that in the boot camp that I'm also gonna host too. And I could see that influence. Everyone was just expressing themselves so authentically and so full of love. And I'm just like, that's what it should be, y'all.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You keep talking about this boot camp. What's the boot camp for? Tell the people about the show. Like, when and where?
The fashion show is gonna be April 20th. Okay, April 20th.
That 420?
Definitely. It's gonna be on April 20th, y'all. I hope I see y'all there. I don't know the time, but I will post the flyer. Tune in, y'all. The model bootcamp is basically going to be showing you skills, teaching you how to walk, pose, and just work the runway.
Period.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited to see the show. I'll definitely be there. Do you have any final thoughts or comments you'd like to share? Any club shout outs?
I just
resources you want to shout out?
I really want to shout out EOP. I'm an EOP student, and without EOP, I would not be here. I would not be here. Mentally, spiritually, frequency-wise, I would not be here. So I really want to just say thank you to EOP. I don't know where I'd be without you guys. And I also want to just thank everyone that believed in me, you know, because little old me, I'm from the Bronx, 3rd Avenue.
Me too! Shut the fuck up.
I'm from 3rd Ave, y'all. Little old me, like, you know, so I thank everyone that believes in me, and I love everyone that loves me. So, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Hugs and Kisses. I hope you took something away from this episode, from this beautiful human being. Tune in next week for another episode. Ciao.